Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Welcome to a quick movie reviews. Yes, the past couple days I've actually watched a bunch of movies. I think about 6 films in the past 2 or 3 days. Because past couple weeks I haven't really watched any new releases. I think the last one I watched was Furiosa, which was like a week and a half ago. So I've just been really busy. So I just made other videos and put them out, but haven't actually gone to the movies in almost 2 weeks and stuff. So yeah, I had to go to the show and actually watch like back to back movies in 2 days, and a couple of these movies I caught online or streaming, but I wanted to just watch a bunch of movies and see how they were. I didn't really have a lot of hope for really any of these movies, but one. And of course, the one I had hoped for was the best one. But all right, let's just get to it. The very first movie I saw was Bad Boys Ride or Die. I like the Bad Boys movies for what they are, dumb, silly action comedies. I enjoy the first Bad Boys. I think it's a guilty pleasure sort of movie. Even Bad Boys 2, which I think is still not technically a good movie. I liked Bad Boys for Life. I thought that was really good. The third Bad Boys was a lot of fun. It had a lot of heart to it, emotionality to it, and it had some real stakes. And I genuinely thought it was pretty great. It was the best one, and still to this day, it's the best Bad Boys movie. Bad Boys Ride or Die is, I don't know. Everything I liked in this movie was awesome, but then the shit I didn't like was really bothersome to me. This is right there with Bad Boys 2 is like one of the weaker ones. Martin Lawrence, I think, steals the movie as Marcus. I enjoyed Martin Lawrence in all of these Bad Boys movies. I think he's just so funny, and he's probably the heart of all the movies. Because Michael Lowry, Will Smith's like the cool badass part, and Martin Lawrence is the comedy and like maybe the drama in the movies. And I always thought Martin Lawrence was an underrated comedian, even though he's not always great. Like his stand-up comedy, it wasn't always great, but I've liked some of his movies like Life and Blue Streak and National Security. I have a soft spot for the Martin Lawrence comedies. I think he's the best in this movie. I think he's the funniest. I think he is the heart and soul of the movie. I think he has the best character moments. And he's just fun and enjoyable. And I can tell Martin Lawrence was having a lot of fun. And his chemistry with Will Smith is always strong. The two of them just have a great bond. And I can tell they have a great friendship. And you can feel it in this movie. And the chemistry between the two of them is always great. Will Smith is lacking a lot in this movie. He's always the cool badass in all of the movies, and he does a great job in all three of the Bad Boys movies. This one, he's not so much slick and cool. He's more like the paranoid father. He's basically trying to be Marcus's character from the first Bad Boys, and I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. I don't know, he tries the awkward comedy, but his comedy was always the smooth kind of comedy, but him doing the awkward bumbling comedy just doesn't, it falls flat for me. And all his jokes just were not funny. And Will Smith has been funny in these Bad Boys movies, but not one joke he says in this movie is funny. And maybe it's just the script doesn't give him anything funny, or maybe Will Smith's delivery just is off. But for some reason, he was just a little off in this movie. He does have his cool badass moments, but he just tries to have this like awkward, bumbly, stubbly, comedic moments, and they fall completely flat for me. Characters return from the previous film. They're all fine. The soul of the movie is the Bad Boys themselves, Mike and Marcus. And the chemistry between them is great. And the action is a lot of fun. It's fast-paced, fast editing. And it is cool. There is an action sequence in this movie that is a fucking banger. It's all done in like one shot, and the way it's filmed and the way it's like circled and shit. It's probably the highlight of the movie. There's like one really fucking amazing action scene, and it's like literally it's worth the price of admission just to watch the one scene. It's pretty fucking awesome. The villain, bland. The story, very predictable. It is a story you've seen in many crime cop movies and television shows. It's very basic, very by the numbers, and you can predict every beat for beat story element in this movie. There is nothing really new or exciting or original about the film. The two leads are having fun, and you are having fun with them, and the action is a lot of fun, but the movie wasn't needed. I don't think we needed another Bad Boys movie. It's not a bad movie, it's just not really a great movie, and it's just, I had fun with it, but after I was done watching it, I'm like, why was the point of that movie? Just what was the point? I just feel like it was just tacked on to make extra money for the Bad Boys franchise. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give Bad Boys Ride or Die a 6 out of 10. It's okay. If you're a diehard Bad Boys fan, definitely check it out. You'll probably enjoy it. I'm not a diehard fan. I like the franchise as a guilty pleasure franchise, and that's kind of just adds on to the guilty pleasure, I guess. But it's definitely one of the weaker Bad Boys movies. Next was The Watchers with Dakota Fanning, directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. This movie is not very good. It has a phenomenal opening, and I would even say a really good first 30 minutes. I'd say watch the first 30 minutes and then stop watching it, because it gets so shitty after the first 30 minutes. Really great build-up, really good atmosphere, really good mystery, and then once you find out what it's all about, it is fucking dog shit. It gets stupid, it gets muddled, it gets confusing, it gets just borderline comedic in the worst way possible. And Dakota Fanning is way too talented to be in a movie like this. She's a great actress. I love Dakota Fanning. I think she's solid in this movie. All the other actors are in there just to be exposition. So Dakota Fanning is just the true star of the movie. She's good. The first act is really good. Second, third act, absolute shit. The ending, such a stupid ending. I was like, really? All of this build-up leads to this? You fucking kidding me? Oh my god. I was actually so invested with this movie. I was so in. I'm like, I'm liking this. What are the critics smoking? This is actually fucking well done. And then as it kept going, I'm like, okay, I see what they're saying now. Yeah, it's pretty shitty. So yeah, the first 30 minutes is an 8 out of 10. The rest of the movie is a 2 out of 10. So since most of the movie is a 2 out of 10, I'm going to give the movie a 4 out of 10. So 4 out of 10 for The Watchers. All right, next is Atlas. One of the dumbest movies I've watched this year. I turned it off. I had it on Netflix. It's been on Netflix for a bit. I'm like, you know what? Let's check it out. Jennifer Lopez, sci-fi movie. Her playing a scientist. That's funny. I was going into this movie expecting it to be so bad it was funny. That's why I watched this movie. I wanted to laugh my ass off. I wanted another The Strangers Chapter 1 level of so bad. It's hilarious. It's not. It's just really dull, really boring, and just has just shitty writing, shitty direction, bad CGI, and Jennifer Lopez once again proves that she can't act to save her fucking life. Terrible movie. I turned it off after an hour. I don't even know how the movie ends, but I'm like, it's not worth it. This is torturous to watch. So Atlas, 1 out of 10. One of the worst movies I have watched this fucking year. Next was the Garfield movie. I just watched this yesterday. I watched it on stream. I streamed it. Everyone was saying it was actually pretty good. It was actually the best Garfield movie. That's not saying much because the only Garfield movies I've watched are the Bill Murray ones, and they're fucking terrible. So I guess they're correct. I've never been a Garfield guy. I never really watched the cartoon series or I never read the comic strips. I just don't know anything about Garfield, really. Yeah, that's really it. I've seen the Bill Murray movies. They're bad. This one is not as bad, but still pretty bad. Animation's very nice. It's nice. It's colorful. Not one joke is funny, and not one character is interesting. I think this could be a mindless kids movie. That's it. I didn't enjoy it, really. It was nice animation. That's really it. Nice animation, but a dull plot. Very childlike, but it's a kids movie, so it's supposed to be. But usually there's kids movies that are for kids and for adults. This is mainly just for kids. So I'll give it a 5 out of 10. So it's not the movie's fault, I guess. Next movie I saw was The Dead Don't Hurt. I only watched this movie because Viggo Mortensen was directing this movie, and I love Viggo Mortensen. I think he's a great actor. Apparently he directed another movie a couple years ago that I've never seen. Maybe I should check it out. I think Viggo Mortensen is just such a great, underappreciated actor. Everything he plays in, he's so fucking good. anytime he's in a Cronenberg movie or something, like, I love Viggo Mortensen. So him doing like a Western directed by him, I'm all in. Sadly, I was a little let down. It was kind of boring, and it was not like intriguingly boring. It was just really slow for the fact of it just being slow. I like slow and dense movies sometimes. If there's a meaning to it, there's a point to it, there's a philosophical idea behind it, it's telling a visual story. No, this movie is just, it goes like Terrence Malick sometimes. It just has shots of a pond for 4 minutes, shots of a man building a house for 3 minutes, shots of this, and like shots of a woman crying unnecessarily for a long time. I'm like, what is? I know you're trying to do, Viggo, trying to be a very deep, poetic filmmaker, trying to be maybe a Cronenberg meets Terrence Malick, which is cool and all, but I don't know. Maybe you should try again. Viggo's great in the movie. He's so good. He's a great actor. He's fantastic. The cinematography is really good. The editing is really good. The production looks very well done. Like, there was a lot of effort into this movie. It's just not interesting. It's not an interesting story, and the character Viggo's playing is not a very interesting and complex character. He's just kind of just a rootin' tootin' cowboy. That's really it. Super basic, super boring, and I don't know. Maybe I was just not in the right mood for the movie. I don't know. Some people seem to really like it. I don't know. I kind of wanted the movie to end halfway through. So I'm going to give The Dead Don't Hurt a 5 out of 10. Very beautiful to look at. Very nice shots. Viggo's really great. Just, it was pretty insufferable to watch, though. Lastly, The Bike Riders. This is why I'm doing this video. This movie's fucking awesome. I want to do a whole video on it, but I'm like, I might as well talk about it in this one. Just get it all out there. Bike Riders is one of my favorite movies of the year. I fucking loved it. I've been waiting to see this movie. It was supposed to come out last year, and it went to film festivals. So a lot of people saw it last year, but it got delayed. Now, finally, the majority of people can watch it now. It's the new Jeff Nichols biker movie. It was everything I wanted. It was so good. Very Sons of Anarchy-esque, very Sopranos-esque, and yeah, just a great movie. Austin Butler kills it. Jodie Comer, she's awesome. Tom Hardy steals the fucking movie. He is amazing in this movie. I loved him. He's my favorite character. Super awesome. Pretty twisted, but I just loved him. I loved it. He chewed the scenery in this movie. I love this story about bikers in this time period. The time period just transports you. This movie transports you into this time zone. I loved it. I love that it's about a relationship, about a man choosing the one he loves, or the biker club that he's been with for so many years, and he's almost like been indoctrinated into, and this is like his blood, and this is his everything. But what about the woman he loves? Is she more important than his brothers of the gang? Oh, so great. Great ending. The ending was so good. Jeff Nichols crushes it. Jeff Nichols is a great director, though. Like, I may have not loved every movie he's done, but I enjoy, for the most part, his work. I've never hated a movie he's directed. This is one of my favorites, though. This and, oh god, this might be one of my favorites with Take Shelter. This and Take Shelter are, I think, his best movies. But I might have liked this more than Take Shelter. It's just such a great movie. I instantly want to watch this movie again. I just really enjoyed the characters. I'm a sucker for, like, biker stories. That's why I love, like, Sounds of Anarchy and stuff. They don't make a lot of movies about biker gangs, and they should. This is a solid flick. It's very well directed, very well written. The cast is awesome. There's some cameos that I really enjoyed as well. Great ending, great music. The soundtrack kicks ass. And yeah, it's got brutality, it's got good drama, it's got a decent romance, and just it has characters I just found so fascinating. I enjoyed all 3 of the main characters, and I enjoyed the ride I was going on, man. I would happily see this movie a second time in theaters. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give The Bike Riders a 9.3 out of 10. Definitely check this one out. So yeah, there's my quick movie reviews. 6 films I saw. For the most part, I was very disappointed, but thank God for The Bike Riders. So let me know in the comments below what movies you've seen in the past week, and if you've seen these movies I've listed, what are your thoughts and opinions on them? Comment below, let me know, and as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the dark side.